playwright?
Mr. Barry? Mr. Barry!
I'm sorry, but I'm terribly late.
On board!
My train, please forgive me.
Hey, where are you going? We're your public.
I'm sorry, but I must be off.
Where are you off to, little man?
Please, let go of me.
Hey, that's what happened, little Mike. We made you. We can unmake you now.
Yes. Well. We were alone. I heard the ice crack. It wasn't very loud at first. Then I saw the white lines that jagged across the pond, and my heart flew up into my throat. Davy! He heard nothing. Only the clattering of escape blades as they hit the ice, and the wind blowing through his uncapped, russet-colored hair.
Watch me next trick, Jamie. You'll love this.
On the bank, my panic turned into hysteria. I jumped up and down, over and over again, trying to get his attention. My body took over my mind, and I couldn't think. Hot, salty water came squirting out of my eyes and into my cold, blue-lipped mouth, and I was shaking like a leaf.
Davy! The ice!
What?
It's cracking! The ice is cracking!
Watch this next jump. Are you watching?
Davy, stop!
Look, Jamie. I can fly.
He landed rather awkwardly, but on his feet, and bowed to his audience of one, 6-year-old me. It was then that the ice gave way, and into the freezing cold water my brother plunged. The cold must have hit him like thousands of tiny needles sticking all over his body. He threw himself onto a triangular piece of ice, but his wit and the weight of his soaked clothes were too heavy. The jacket shard broke, and my brother slid once more into the bone-chilling water.
Jamie!
He's alive! He's alive! Davy, I can see ya!
But I'm too small, and my arms too weak, and the ice too thick, and my body's tired to aching. But I can't stop. I have to save him. I scream, and I chip the ice. I cry, and I chip the ice. I pray, and I chip the ice. Davey's trying to find the hole where he fell through, but he's lost all sense of direction, and the hole isn't where he thought it was. I look back and see his face grow dimmer and smaller as the pond's inky depths engulf him. Davey!
James! I didn't see you lurking there. You scared me half to death. Wipe your wet shoes on that towel there. I just scrubbed this floor. Well, wash up. It's almost time for breakfast. Where have you been this early in the morning? And where's your brother? I hope you two didn't go skating this morning. I told Davy I don't want either of you out on the ice when no one is around. That brother of yours thinks he can do anything he likes. Well, he can't. Being popular and smart is no protection from danger. Just like his father, God rest him.
Mama!
James! Stop that! A man doesn't cry. How many times have I told you? Now, what is it? Tell me. James, stop crying. You'll make yourself sick. Take a breath. Take a breath, James. That's a good boy. Now, take another. Do you want some water? Deacon, this is an early surprise.
Margaret, is Jamie about? He left my house in such a state. Ah, there you are. Come here to me, laddie. Have you told your mother about Davy? I thought as much.
Davy? What did he do now? Granted, he's a little scrapper, but he has a good heart.
Margaret.
Mama, I tried to save him!
James, what are you on about? Stop that crying. What will the deacon think?
Margaret.
What is it, for the love of God? Has he damaged himself? Take me to him, James. Will you let go of me?
Margaret, perhaps you might want to sit down.
I will stand in my own house.
As you will, then. Margaret, I'm afraid Davy isn't coming home.
What are you saying to me? My Davy can take care of himself. My Davy is a man.
He was. He was
Was?
a man.
Was? Now you're talking foolish. You are making no sense, man. At any moment he'll walk through.
Margaret.
Will you look at this floor, James? I told you to wipe your feet.
There's been an accident.
Don't say it.
I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but
Don't you dare speak the word. He's my son. He's my son.
The new snow had fallen the night before Davy's funeral. Like a big blanket, it covered the roofs, the shutters, and the cobbled streets of our town with what seemed like a new beginning. But it wasn't. The snow was so white in comparison to the citizens of our town here, who were all dressed in black as they trudged to Davy's burial site.
the sad world will be the poorer for the tragic loss of David Barry. A boy, nay, not a boy, a young man, a perfect young man of such promise, a promise which now must remain unfulfilled, in sure and certain belief of life everlasting.
No! Mama, don't. I tried to warn him. Don't. I tried to help him.
He would have saved you. You're weak and you're puny and you let him die. He was a man. That deacon was right. As young as he was a man. He would have had a future.
Mama, what are you saying?
I'm saying the wrong son died. Do you get that, Jamie? The wrong son died. My Davy, laying there in that cold, cold water. Oh God, why take the perfect one? James, get away from me. I don't want you now. Do you understand that? Stay right there where you are. I don't want you now.
I understand, Mom.
When we got home that day, Mother went to her bed and stayed there. Months passed by and our house became really dirty. Neighbors wanted to lend a hand, but I was told to tell them, we Barrys neither want nor need anybody's charity. Thank you. I tried to help, but it was never enough. The nights were the worst part for both of us.
Davy, is it you?
No, Mama. It's me, Jamie.
Davy, is it you?
Mama!
Davy, is it you?
Yes, Mama. It's me, Davy. I miss you too. Time to go to sleep.
My Davy.
After many months, Mother returned to her household duties with a numbed efficiency. But the nightly visitations from Davy continued for many years. I even dressed up as Davy to make the illusion more convincing.
Now arriving Kiramir and Angus!
Why did I do that? What was I thinking? Finally, I left home to attend university and vowed never to return. And yet here I am again, in the town of my birth, Kiramir. It hasn't changed, it's just smaller. I still remember every street and alleyway, every rock and tree. David Barry, 1853 to 1866. Beloved son. Time and Scottish weather have not been kind. Hello, Davy. I've come to visit you. It's been such a long time and so much has happened. I still think about you almost every day. Where do I start? How do I begin?
At the beginning, yes. And you left here.
Where are you?
6 feet under. Pushing up the daisies. Where do you think? Tell me about you. Have you had any adventures?
I believe I have. After I graduated from university, I moved to London and swiftly became a man of letters. Rather, short man of letters. Oh, Davy, I'm still so small.
Aye, but you're a man.
Who has to look up to anyone over the age of 10?
You're always so sensitive. How do you get through the day?
I know. Anyway, I started with articles and short stories. I later composed a longer work called The Little Minister.
I knew you'd be a writer.
Yes! I later turned it into a play. Though I don't like it much now, it's too sentimental, even for me. But it took the nation by storm, became quite fashionable, and suddenly I was rubbing elbows with people like Oscar Wilde and Bernard Shaw. Every week I even played cricket with Conan Doyle.
Cheers, lad. Move on.
Davy, you don't understand. I'd arrived. I was sought after. I was invited to dinners and galas, and in the midst of this whirlwind, I met and married a very pretty young actress named Mary Ansell.
You're married. What's she like?
James, will you please try and hurry, my darling? Your cufflinks are in the bureau. Here, let me do it. You're all thumbs and you know it. When we go out at night, I do believe you should begin to get ready right after breakfast. Here's your tie. Let me do it. You do realize, don't you, my big baby, that you really are not tall enough to get away with a late entrance.
I'll have you know, my good woman, your husband is a giant amongst men.
No, James,
Never.
don't. You'll spoil my gown and muss my hair, and I do so want you to be proud to have me on your arm when we enter Lord and Lady Seacrest's gala tonight. What are you looking for? Your gloves are in your pocket, absent-minded.
Oh, I suppose they are. There's so much rattling going on in my head. Today I became quite caught up in my newest play.
Is there a party for me? That means no. I don't know why you get so caught up. It isn't as if you have anything new to say in your plays, do you, my darling? I mean, it is all terribly clever, I suppose, and workmanlike, but it is also cozy. That's the word. Cozy. And dreadfully sentimental. I mean, really, James, if you've seen one, I dare say you've seen them all. Even Bernard Shaw thinks so.
And you married her on purpose?
When we first met, she promised to be my inspiration, to be my muse. I had never known that kind of attention before. I thought it was love.
And now?
Now, one might conjecture ours is not the perfect match. Wildflowers. Mother has been.
Every single day.
Bless her. This is all there is of you now. A small decaying stone that stands for your life. 1853 to 1866. 13 years old. Just 13 years old, and still, Davy, you are remembered. My mother, myself, and probably half the town. We all remember you as you were. As you were. As you were. Davy, you will always be 13 years old.
What are you talking about?
You will always be strong and perfect and full of promise.
I like the way you think.
Shh. Why, you're the little boy who wouldn't grow up. No matter what I might accomplish in my life, in Mother's eyes, and perhaps even my own, I will always be in a kind of competition with you. The little boy who would not grow up.
You can stop calling me that now.
That's it, Davy. The little boy would not grow up. How does one do that? What if a boy, say, had the choice? What would happen? Once upon a time.
A story.
Don't interrupt. In Kensington Gardens Park, that's in London, on a late evening in early spring, there was a nanny called Liza.
Shh! You'll wake the baby. It's almost after hours here in Kensington, and I thought you and I might...
After hours, we must go. This is the very time.
You still believe in that nonsense? You're Irish through and through. Come, let me hold you.
But the baby.
He's asleep, and it's a warm afternoon, the first real one of spring. Let's not waste it. Or do you think the fairies will come steal him?
They might, and little Peter, he's so darling, just like, but only for 5 minutes. At the mistress who
The carriage stood alone as the shadows of the night slyly approached. A single yellow twinkling light emerged, no larger than the size of a pin. It flew to the baby's face, which fairly glowed in its presence. Then, a red pin light appeared, followed by a violet, a pink, a green, an amber. Fairies! Silently, ever so silently, the carriage began to rise from off the ground.
Ned, look!
But a fairy took out a very sharp pin, fairies love pins, and stuck it very hard into Ned's hand.
Ah! This baby's going nowhere!
So, 7 more fairies took out very sharp pins and stuck it out many times over in Ned's hand.
What was that?
It's true! All of the stories are true! The fairies have him now, we'll never see him again!
Well, get him back!
How? You stupid man! How? Can you fly? Can you go to the Neverland?
The what?
The what?
The what?
The Neverland. That's where they take them. All the babies. All the lost babies. Peter! Peter, come back here! Peter! Don't you touch me! Oh my god, I must travel like you, Peter!
The carriage floated to great altitudes, flying high above the lamplit streets, going past the tree trunks of the park, illuminating it as it passed, flying high above the House of Parliament until it was faintly silhouetted in front of the moon, before flying behind the cloud. It's night. Mother had expected me after 4. I must be off. Sleep well. The Neverland, eh? No, not the Neverland. Neverland. I like that.
So do I. Good night, Jamie.
Good night. I don't want to go home. Why is it that a perfectly sensible adult man is reduced to a child when visiting the home of which he was born in? There's the Blue Dolphin Pub. No one looks familiar.
Make it fast, Mucker. We close in 5 minutes.
Sherry, please.
Sherry? Where do you think you are, Edinburgh? A sherry indeed.
Well, what do you serve?
We serve beer, Mucker. We serve ale. Take your pick.
Ale, then.
Light or dark?
What?
Mucker. Listen up. Do you want your ale light or do you want your ale dark?
Dark. Dark, please.
Your name isn't Barry, is it? Don't you remember me? It's Sean. Sean O'Rourke. We went to school together, remember?
It's good to see you, Sean.
No, it's not. We gave you a pretty good going over in that old rundown schoolhouse.
Really? I don't remember.
Oh, I do. A pretty good going over. You see, Jamie, isn't it? Yeah, Jamie. My folks had just moved down here from Ireland. Donegal, you know? And I was always afraid of people teasing me over my accent and my hair and all those damn freckles. So, I turned it on you. Face it, Mucker, you were an easy target. You were, being so small and so damn smart. But you always fought back. That is, of course, until we'd make you cry. Then your sainted brother, may he rest in peace, he'd come after us. Oh, he'd wallop us good and proper, God rest him. But I never understood you. You always fought back. Here, Jamie, it's on the house.
Sean, I couldn't possibly.
Jamie, please, don't insult me. Besides, I figure I am.
Thank you, Sean.
Haven't grown much, have you?
Aye, Mucker, I grew richer.
Good for you, Jamie Barry, still fighting back. Not where you used to, I expect.
No, it's quite good.
It's swill.
No, really, it's good.
It's swill.
Not at all.
It's swill.
Yes, but it's very good swill.
Well then, here, try this. All right, you lot, closing time. Listen, boy, it's getting late. Rather than waking your mom, why not come spend the night at my house? It'd be an honor. We, the missus and me, almost never get a world-famous author to stay with us.
How did you know I'm an author?
Mucker, look behind you. Yeah, your play. I saw it. Mind you, I didn't want to, but the wife insisted. You know, I've never seen a theatrical before, and when I got to it, I didn't know what to expect.
What did you think?
Nah, you don't care. You've made your fortune with it already.
No, I do. I do care, Sean. I truly do.
Well, I don't know much about these things, you know, but to me, it was good. The way you captured this little corner of the world.
Anything else?
Oh, the missus loved it. And so did I, but I thought only in places, you understand. I got a bit sugar pie, but only a bit.
Yes! It was too sentimental! Sugar pie, as you'd have it. Especially that particular production. There were some problems with the leading lady. She wanted the audience to cry from the moment she danced on.
James, please, let me play that gypsy girl. You know I can. I promise to obey your every direction.
What a horrid blunder.
I played her as I thought proper.
Mary, The Little Minister was a smashing success in London and in America. It was practically indestructible. But you found a way. You strangled it to the ground and danced a little jig on its grave. Did you think I wanted you to be bad? You listened to no one. And Mary, you literally danced throughout the play.
She's a gypsy, isn't she? Gypsies dance.
All the time.
I know. I was dreadful, wasn't I?
Positively awful.
Give me another chance.
I'm sorry, Mary, but I can give you anything else. Just not this one thing.
But that is what I want.
Then I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to find that somewhere else.
You hate me very much, don't you?
Not at all.
Then you love to disappoint me.
Mary, other than this one thing, when have I ever disappointed you?
All right then, where are my children? A son, a daughter even, to care for. I'll tell you where they are. Dear Papa is in Cape.
Mary, don't!
You. For 9 long years, I've given you everything you wanted.
And I've given you nothing?
Things! You gave me things! I gave you my talent, my youth, my beauty.
Your love?
Oh, James, you don't think you've ever had that, do you? Whatever would you do with it? You're hardly anyone's idea of a Prince Charming, are you? Are you?
I'm going, I think, to Scotland tomorrow. To Cairn.
To visit dear Mama? James, I do believe your mother doesn't like me, and I can't understand why. After all, I've always held her in the highest contempt.
Who was that woman? She was sure easy on the eyes, but as an actress, who was she?
My wife.
Oh,
No need. She wasn't good at all, but for you to put this fine poster up in your pub, thank you.
So what do you say? Will you stay the night? It's getting late, and your mom's probably asleep. The inn is closed, and the weather always gets so cold and damp at this time of night.
Smear and dream. Smear and dream. It's the old tongue for cold and tame. I like how the words sound, but not necessarily what they mean.
So you'll stay then? Oh, you'd be doing me a favor. Having you come along will save my head from the Mrs. Frying Pan. And if it's gonna be that way with me, I can only imagine what it would be like for you, with your mom.
How is she? My mother.
Well, I see her every week going to her church.
Really? And how is she?
Mucker, she's the same.
Perhaps I should stay the night.
Good for you, Mucker. I wouldn't be able to face her yet either. Good night, Ursula. Take care going home. That's Ursula. She's, a regular. Come on, my lad. I'll introduce you to the missus. It must have been hard, losing your brother like that.
He's a memory now, Sean. And memories of the kindling that keep us warm in the winter. He was a man, taken for all in all. I'll never see his like again.
Huh?
Shakespeare. Hamlet.
Oh, so now you're showing off all your knowledge on me then. I know, I'm just playing with you. We're here. Wait till you meet my Mo. She's a pistol. But be prepared for a few little words.
You're late.
Sorry, my love. I ran into an old friend from my school days.
Which one? Ursula or
Now,
Guzma?
Mo, don't start this
Now
argument.
you listen to me. You great Irish Lennox. How long do you think I'm gonna put up with this? Irish or no? Catholic or no?
Mo, this is the mucker I told you about. You recall me talking to you about him? The one I went to school with. That I almost tortured to death. Remember we went to go see his theatrical together, The Little Minister? This is James M. Barry, my newest best friend, and he's up all the way from London to visit his mother.
Margaret Barry?
Yes.
It's getting late, and we were talking old times. Jamie here didn't want to wake his mom, so I told him he could stay with us for the night.
Why, of course. The children are all asleep, but if you don't mind the couch, it's very comfortable. Sean can vouch for that. Can I get you some tea or sherry?
A sherry would be fine, but not if it's too much bother.
No bother at all. In fact, I'll join you. Sean, ale for you.
If you wouldn't mind.
Well, you know where your glass is. I loved your play. See, I even bought the book of it. Would it be too much to ask? Too much trouble? I mean, to sign it?
My pleasure. To Sean and...
Oh, forgive me, of course. It's Maureen. Sean calls me Mo. He thinks he's being funny, but it's Maureen. Maureen O'Rourke, that's my name. Although I guess you already know my last name. Thank you. I'll treasure it. Shall we sit? So, what are you working on now?
That's a difficult question.
I didn't mean to pry.
Not at all. It's about a little boy who won't grow up.
Oh, it's about Sean then, is it?
No. This little boy has been kidnapped
Kidnapped?
by fairies. Even now they're flying his perambulators. Come here, please. You see that star? No, not that one. That one. The second one, to the right.
Yes, I see it, I think. Why?
That's where they're flying into now. A tropical island called Neverland.
Neverland?
A land where nobody grows up.
But he's a baby. How will he take care of himself? How will he survive?
Quite frankly, I hadn't thought about that. There is another island, not very big, just east of Neverland. An islet, actually. Very drab in comparison to the sun-drenched, multicolored wonders of the bigger island. This islet is so remote, in fact, that the sun almost forgets to shine on it, as if it wasn't aware of its very existence.
You mean like here with Kiramir?
Just like Mrs. O'Rourke. It is to this forsaken place where the fairies landed his baby carriage with a decidedly loud thud. Now Peter
That's the baby's name.
naturally began to cry. The fairies swarmed about him to see if he was quite all right, but being fairies are very self-centered race. They weren't inclined to help. The small caravan was greeted by the wise old crow, the self-proclaimed head of the community. He inspected the child from head to toe, and then proclaimed,
This child needs some food.
I should think so, the poor little mite. Oh, is there anything I can get you? More sherry, perhaps?
"That would be delightful." Am I keeping you up, Mrs. O'Rourke?
No, not at all, Mr. Barry. I'm having a wonderful time. And you?
I'm enchanted. Upon the old crow's advice, the fairies flew about to find the baby some food. They returned with worms.
No. You don't feed a baby worms. He's not a bird. Does he have any feathers or a beak?
Oh, they'll come when he's older.
No. It's a little boy, a human boy. And being human, he drinks milk until he's older, and then should eat solid food.
Like worms.
No, not worms, never worms. Now, get this child a coconut. It has milk in it.
Let me handle this, old crow. Where are my kids? Irresponsible, get over here. Where's your brother? Impossible, you two. Listen here, you two. The old crow is nobody's fool. And if he says go get coconuts, you go get coconuts.
But we're tired.
And hungry.
Who cares about
A
us?
stupid human anyway.
Do it! Or shall I tell your father? You know Flammabelle can get pretty hot under the collar when you two disobey.
You certainly know how to marshal the troops.
They don't call me Hannibal for nothing. Oh, what I could do with a pack of elephants. Now, let's see. What can we get the boy to suck his milk? Ah, how about his pill case? You've got a hole in one of the corners.
Brilliant. Your husband is a very lucky man.
Oh, he certainly is. I haven't told him yet, but I'm expecting again.
A new fairy. And what will you name it?
Well, Horabelle, after my father-in-law, if it's a boy. And if it's a girl, I think I might name her Tinkerbell.
Peter was fed and reared by the inhabitants of the island, always under the watchful eye of the wise old crow. Many years passed. Peter, now much older, maybe 6 or 7, though he never knew his exact age, and I expect he still doesn't, was unkempt and disheveled in his filthy apparel as he happily raced down the tiny beach, catching raindrops on his tongue, jumping out of treetops, and riding on the back of a goat,
That boy is afraid of nothing.
and furious to the extreme.
One day he's going to ask questions that will be difficult to answer.
Such as?
Forgive me, Mrs. O'Rourke, but I am quite done in for one night.
Night? Oh, Mr. Perry, it's after 3 in the morning. The time went by so fast. I'm so sorry I kept you up so late.
You have a very pretty laugh.
It's loud, I'm afraid, but your story? May I hear more sometime?
Perhaps in the morning. I don't have anywhere to be until it's time to visit Mother.
Oh, lovely. Well, let me get this one up the stairs. Sean? Sean!
No. My love.
Come on, you great Irish lump. It's late. Let's go. Sleep well. You slept well?
Very. Many thanks.
You're welcome. I told your story to the children. Not as well as you, of course.
How did they like it?
They cannot wait to hear more. Oh, can I get you some hot porridge?
Just coffee. I don't eat in the mornings.
And I want to too.
Have some porridge?
No, I ate hours ago with the children. Hear more of your story.
So you liked it then?
It takes me into another world. And other than moving here from Ireland when I was a girl, I've really never been out of this village.
Just let me finish my coffee. Sean is up.
Bright and early, inventory or something.
He's a hard worker.
A fast worker, more like.
Pardon me?
It's nothing.
Forgive my presumption, but is anything wrong?
It's nothing, whatever.
I see you're Catholic.
Catholic and Irish, not very original, I'm afraid.
Ah, but you are. Quite original.
Thank you.
One day, the fairies presented Peter Pan with a gift. Panpipes.
Thank you very much, but if you don't mind, what do I do with them?
You blow music through them. You see, boy, each pipe is a note, and if you blow the notes about, you will make a tune.
Soon?
A melody, a song, where we fairies dance at to our Wednesday night dances. We're so tired of humming.
So that was the reason for the gift.
Indeed, Peter, feeling a bit embarrassed, flew into the panpipes and it was quite horrid. The fairies were so irritated by the sound, they actually stuck beans in their ears. Then, at the next Wednesday night fairy dance, Peter entered the fairy circle. He took a deep breath, and something wonderful happened. He gently blew and discovered that he and the panpipes had united. They had become as one. He forgot his nervousness. He forgot the audience that gathered around him. He forgot everything that wasn't the instrument in his hands. It was magical. A single pure melody line emerged, high, sustained, and clear. It circled the group, one note turning into another, then wistfully into another, on and on, falling upon one another with a haunting clarity, artistry, and beauty. One by one, the fairies looked up and listened in stunned silence.
He's wonderful.
Yes, he's quite passable.
Passable? He was born to play those panpipes.
And that's just what we'll call him.
Peter Panpipes?
No. Not Peter Pan Pipes. We shall call him Peter Pan.
Yeah!
Mr. Barry.
And that's how Peter Pan got his name.
Is that the end?
Would you like it to be?
No, I mean, not at all. Please tell me more.
So one day, Peter was feeling rather blue.
What is it, boy? You're not happy.
I don't know. I miss. Never mind.
You miss. I have it. You miss your mother.
Mother? I didn't even know I had one. Who is it?
Why, she's the lady. Boy, who loved you before you came here. Come. You know the lady who loved you?
Love?
Love. It's a special feeling, a good feeling that you have for someone else.
Like the way I feel about you.
Thank you, yes. But your mother loves you 1,000 times more. She lives in a place called London.
London?
You don't remember anything? Try to imagine her. Older than you, hugged you, kissed you and fed you, and made a great fuss over you, saying fool things to you like goo-goo and dad. Why, she sang to you every night. Songs. They're called lullabies. And she patted your back after every meal.
Does she still love me?
Mothers never stop loving their children. No matter what you do, she will always love you, always.
Then why isn't she here?
Fly up here to me.
Fly?
Why? Don't you think you can't?
I never thought about it. I have no wings, you know. I just never thought. You mean I can fly?
Try.
Peter tried to fly without any success. He tried jumping. He tried flapping his arms. He tried jumping and flapping his arms, which didn't really work at all. He tried running and jumping and flapping, which only made him feel rather slow.
I'm doing this all wrong.
I'll give you a hint. It's not about jumping.
It's about thinking.
Exactly.
It's about thinking.
Think, boy, think hard. No, don't close your eyes. It will only hurt your head on a branch or something. Think, boy, think.
What should I think about? Flying?
No, think of the things that make you happy.
Things that make me happy. The fairies make me happy. My toes! They feel light!
Don't think about your toes at a time like this. Think.
I love the old crow. What else? I know! My mother makes me happy.
Peter looked down at the ground, getting further away, looking smaller and smaller. Conversely, he looked up at the old crow in his nest, looming larger and larger.
Yeah!
Leaves from the trees brushed past Peter's eyes. Could it be? Could he actually be flying?
Stop! You're going too high. It's not time yet. Master Pan, boy, put those arms down this instant. You're not too big that I can't.
Yes, I am!
Well, maybe you are too big. When and if you ever know as much as I do.
I want to see my mother!
Master Pan! Come here, boy. Come sit by me. From here, you can see almost everywhere.
My mother?
No, boy. She's too small. But if you follow your nose, your loving heart will lead you to her loving arms, if that is what you want. But remember this. If you just have to stay in London with her, you will never be able to come back here again. You will never be able to fly again. You will grow older. And the older you get, you'll forget us. I'm not saying these things to frighten you, boy. I'm simply telling you the rules. So off you go. And if you decide to remain there, then there you must stay. It would be awfully great to have you here. Oh yes, I will miss you.
Are you crying?
Just a touch of sinitis, nothing serious. I'm a tough bird.
No, you are crying. Does that mean you love me?
I am not crying. Sometimes you can be a very dull boy. Now go. Fly to London. See your mother. See her. We'll wait as long as... We'll wait. Go. Dear boy, no matter what you decide, there are two things I want you to remember and never forget. Never forget to follow your nose. And always remember to think.
You do love me. Well, I love you too. Goodbye.
And did he find his mother?
Yes, Peter found London by following his nose as the old crow instructed. When he arrived, Big Ben was just striking 12. Peter's nose twitched left, then right, then left again, which directed him to a lovely little street in Bloomsbury.
Bloomsbury. How lovely that sounds.
I must show it to you one day. Peter found his house by following his nose once more. His nose told him that this very pretty little house was his. He looked through the windows and finally found the bedroom window, where he spied a very lovely lady fitfully sleeping in her nest.
Her nest?
Well, Peter had never heard of a bed before.
No, poor boy. I suppose he wouldn't have.
Oh, Peter, my precious little boy, where are you?
Peter crept to her bedside. He was going to awaken her, but stopped himself. He smelled her, a beautiful fragrance. He touched her cheeks so slightly, so soft. Cautiously, he turned down the covers and went into his mother's bed.
If she calls my name again, I should stay with her always.
But Peter's mother slept soundly now, and as all children do when being held for too long, Peter grew restless. He looked out at the window, trying to stay still, gazing at his star. It called to him, like a siren song, it beckons to him. Peter looked down at his mother again, lovingly, and quickly flew out the window.
Oh, Mr. Barry.
Please, call me James.
Thank you, James. What happens next?
Next, I have to visit my mother. My train isn't supposed to arrive until after 4, and I intend on telling her I missed the one that arrived yesterday.
Good idea. Knowing Mrs. Barry, I can imagine you'd have your hands full with other explanations.
You won't
Tell her? Good heavens, no. It will be our secret.
Bless you.
But you must promise to return. Anytime. I can't tell you, Mr. Barry. You've given me... Thank you. I shan't ever forget you.
It was the sweetest, most uncomplicated kiss I had ever known. My fragile heart leapt for joy.
You're late.
I missed my train, so I had to get another. I hope I didn't worry you.
You didn't.
I stopped at the cemetery and visited David.
I assume you'll be wanting some tea and something to eat. I run a restaurant whenever the famous author comes to town.
Don't bother, Mother.
Well, have you eaten?
No,
Well, then I'd better worry, hadn't I?
I'll do that.
No, I'll do it. It's safer this way. And cleaner. He'll do it indeed. How's your brother? Did he talk to you?
Mother, Davy is dead.
You think I've gone daft? You think I don't know it? Every waking hour, I know it. Do you know what that is to a mother?
I suppose I don't.
You suppose you don't. The great author supposes he don't. You send me money, gifts, furniture, things I don't want, things I don't need. You visit every few years because you think you have to.
Mother, I don't visit you because I feel as if I have to. Sometimes I simply miss you. I made a discovery today when visiting Davy for you. For us, I mean. He will always be 13 years old. He will always be as you remember him. He will never grow up.
Davy will always be my little boy. Do you get that, James? Do you understand?
And you resent me.
Oh, you're a stupid little man for all your great successes. The hurt I have has no anger, no resentment. Well, none for ya. Not anymore. May, you were never my favorite. Not after Davy died, and God knows not before. I'm sorry. I've tried, and I can't. He didn't have to die. It didn't have to happen. It broke my heart, and it broke me. That boy was 5 of you. 5, 6, 7. But oh, James, you could have done something.
I'm trying now, Mama.
It's not enough. Nothing is enough, not until I am lying next to that child, not until I am in my grave do you make me say these things to you? Why do you force me to hurt you? Like tonight, you hadn't even taken off your coat yet. And what do? You tell me you went to visit Davy. Couldn't you have lied? Couldn't you have said you went to the pub? Try to understand, son. I live here by myself, and sometimes I don't even think of him. I get out of bed, I go to church, I do my shopping, and I eat, and I sleep, and I exist. But the moment you walk in, you pick and you scratch at scabs I thought had healed long ago. And lo, the wounds bleed afresh. Why do you do it? Why do you do it to me? Why do you do it to yourself?
I miss him too, Mama.
Here, eat your soup. It's been waiting since last night. I don't know how good it is now. I don't cook much anymore. There's no one to cook for, and I never much enjoyed it when there was. You didn't know that, did you? Well, there it is. So you eat now. James, you know how sick you get when you don't eat, right? You're always so delicate. I expect you haven't changed.
I'm not hungry anymore.
James, will you eat, son?
This room. It looks almost as it did when Davy was alive. At this table, I would read my school essays. How I enjoyed them. Well, Mother never looked up from her eternal darning, always squinting her eyes as she sewed. It was here that...
Mama, I did it!
What did you do now, son?
You know the posh private school just out of town?
I've seen it.
Mama, I applied, and I've been accepted.
Oh, Davy, I'm so proud of you.
You know what this means? It practically guarantees I'll get into university.
Oh, but Davy, private school. It'll cost, won't it?
It is expensive. I'll just forget about it.
Son, I don't know how, but we'll get the money. We'll get it.
You don't know all of it yet.
There's more?
I'm on scholarship. Mama, it's free. Come dance with me.
Oh, James. What happened now? Come here. Shh.
Who did this to you? That Sean O'Rourke.
You're going nowhere, David. I will not have you or anybody else in this family make a scene for the entire town to gawk at. What will he do when you're not here to fight his battles for him? Answer me that, eh? You'll be off at university, and then what? When are you going to learn to fight back?
I do fight back, Mama. But O'Rourke is too big for me.
Aye, they're all too big for you. Now, go wash up. Now! And don't use any of the good towels. I'll never get the blood out of them. You stay here, Davy. He doesn't need your help. He can take care of himself.
He could use yours, Mama.
That was the last time I ever saw Mother laugh. And the only time I saw her raise her hand to Davy. Oh, Davy.
Davy. Is it you?
Yes. It's me, Davy. I'm fine, Mama. Go back to sleep. Dear God, will it never stop?
Mr. Barry! James!
Here, let me help you with those. All out of breath. Let's sit for a moment.
Bless you. Groceries. This is the only time I can buy them. Megan and my oldest cooks for the others. I with Sean. How's your mom?
It must be such a strain with so many mouths to feed. How many have you?
5. No, the biggest strain is just carrying the groceries. And Sean is a good provider. I don't ask for much, I'm cheap. Sometimes I feel so, I don't know, so useless.
What utter rubbish. Useless? Poppycock, I never want to hear you say those words again.
Thank you, James. I won't. I promise. Tell me something, James. Anything. Take me away. Take me to Neverland.
So?
So I'm back.
For good?
Well, I am back.
I have eyes, boy, I can see. Welcome. So?
My mother.
How is she?
She's an angel.
Of course she is. All mothers are. Did you talk?
No, she was asleep, and I didn't want to wake her. She doesn't sleep well at all.
She misses you.
Yes, but you know what I did? I climbed into her nest. She was very soft. So was her nest.
And?
And I couldn't stay. I saw her star shining through her window, the brightest I had ever seen it. And I got
Restless?
exactly. There, see? I answer like you.
Like a small storm warning. A strange look crossed Peter's face. The old crow knew this look. It meant Peter wanted something.
That's my youngest. I can't resist him when he's like that.
Uh-oh. You want something big.
Peter began to dance about as he talked, something he never did.
He wants something enormous.
You know what's almost as amazing as my mother?
I'm certain you'll tell me.
Her nest. It was so big and soft. Much bigger than mine.
The boy had a point. For months now, his head and body were forced into his old perambulator, while his legs hung out from over the handlebar.
My nest is too small. I need a bigger.
Is that all? Come! Everyone! Master Pan here has decided to stay with us.
Yay!
Oh, sorry, James.
Not at all. Feel free to jump in whenever you'd like. This is your story too.
No, it's not. How could it be?
You inspire me.
Thank you.
But he needs a new nest. A bigger one.
And softer.
And softer. His nest is rather small now that he's turning into quite a big boy.
In a trice, the fairies and birds flew, helter skelter, darting, digging, and dragging supplies in order to fashion a real nest for Peter Pan. It was perfect! Ta-da! More like a big open box than a nest.
Strong.
Yes! Are you happy now, boy? There is something else. I knew it.
Well, yes, I suppose I'm happy, but
But out with it, boy.
well, you see, I like to fly.
So,
I like to fly bigger.
speak English, boy, and slow down a bit, will you?
I said, I'd like to fly to the big island.
No.
Just to see?
No.
Please?
No, and don't whine.
I'll come back. I came back from London, didn't I? And Neverland is just over there.
I know where it is, boy. The answer's still no.
But why?
Because
That's no answer.
it's the best you're going to get.
I'll be careful. Why can't I go?
Because
Because why?
I don't have to answer that question, boy. Well, you know it.
I can go if I want to. You're not my mother. You're not my father. You can't stop me.
The egocentricity of the youth. The immortality of the young.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Shh. I'm sorry. You've grown a lot, and now you've had a lot of freedom, and you think you can do anything you want. I was just the same at your age. Listen to me now. Don't cry. There are reasons Neverland is not a good place for you. First and most important, are you listening? Good boy. The moment that you step foot on the ground of Neverland, you will never grow up.
But I'm growing up here.
Here is not there. If you go to Neverland and touch even the tiniest grain of sand, you will always remain your present age. Always.
What's wrong with that?
Loneliness. The loneliness of everlasting sameness.
I'm lonely here.
Are you really lonely, boy?
No, I suppose I'm not. But excuse me for saying this, but I do feel rather cramped.
I know. The isle is small, but I want you to make a thoughtful decision about your future. Not a, well, that sounds like a great idea. I'll try that decision. I couldn't bear it to see you make a mistake. So much do I love you. And if you tell a breathing soul about what I just said, I should denounce you for the light of the morning. Peter, you're squeezing me too hard. Besides, the inhabitants of Neverland, my dear boy, are a motley group if ever there was one.
Like who?
They are the mermaids. They land on a flat rock in the middle of a deep lagoon and lure sailors to them. And then they drown them.
They drown people?
Oh, don't blame them, it's their nature.
Their nature?
The reason they are alive. Why, the mermaids are fearsome. Though not as fearsome as the pirates.
Tell me about them. They're my favorites.
Blast. I should have stopped with the mermaids. The pirates are the very dregs of humanity. If caught, it wouldn't make you walk the plank.
But I can fly. I'd walk the plank slowly, with tears in my eyes, and I'd fall over, And right before I'd hit the water, I'd fly away, and I'd laugh and laugh and show them that I'm no ordinary boy. You said yourself, you said that I'm
Extraordinary.
That's it, extraordinary. Oh, that's a good word. And I think it fits me too, don't you think? Oh, what fun it would be to cross swords with real pirates on a real pirate ship, the Jolly Roger.
That ship is named for a thoroughly despicable villain named Captain James Roger. He's the cruelest pirate to set sail in the Spanish Main. He charms everyone with his personality and looks. Don't be deceived. It is only when he gains your trust through lies and deceptions that he moves in for the kill. Why? He could do things to you.
Like what?
He could tear you limb from limb. He could poke out your eyes. He could carve out your heart and eat it for breakfast, and you would be dead. How'd you like that, eh?
But to die would be an awfully big adventure.
The boy's statement had a most profound effect upon the old crow.
To die would be an awfully big adventure.
How the ancient bird wished he could believe the boy's pronouncement, because even now he can feel death silently entering his brittle bones.
No! Life is the adventure. Life is all there is. Death is nothing.
How do you know? Have you ever died?
The subject is at a close. I forbid you to fly to Neverland. Why don't you get some leaves together to pad your nest? You said you wanted it soft. I always say that a project is the best way to drive out disappointment. You'll see. Find a project boy.
Do that again.
What? No. Not like that. Like this. Pitch it up, boy. The accent is on the fourth syllable. That's it. Especially at the end.
Now, whenever I'm happy, I'm going to crow, just like you.
Thank you, boy. That is most complimentary. But let us not forget our topic of discussion tonight. There will be no flying to Neverland.
All right.
I want you to promise me now.
All right. I promise not to fly to Neverland.
Good boy. Get some sleep. You know where to find me.
I only promised I wouldn't fly to Neverland.
Where have you been this early in the morning? And where's your brother? I hope you two didn't go skating this early. I told Davy I don't want either of you out on the ice when no one is around. That brother of yours thinks he can do anything he likes. Well, he can't. The author's awake, I see. They live their lives very differently in the big city. As old as I am, I've already been to church and done a full day's wash. Sleep until 10. Here, what do you think you're doing?
I've come down to help.
The sheets are too big for you, the line is too tall. They drag on the ground and you get in Philippine, I have to start all over again. Here, hand me the clothes pegs. Want something to eat?
No, thank you.
You missed church.
I forgot it was Sunday.
You forgot? You forgot? Do you even go to church?
Of course I do.
Is that another lie?
A lie?
Aye, a lie. A lie, James. I'm your mother. I know when I'm being lied to.
What do you mean, Mother?
James, this is a wee town. Don't you think everybody knows what everybody else is doing and talks about it? Especially when a wee stranger arrives in fine clothes.
How did you find out, Mother?
Well, after services this morning, I met up with that old hag, Grace McLaughlin. There's a piece of God's own handiwork, let me tell you. Oh, Mrs. Barry, how nice to have your world-famous son back in town. Oh, yes, I said. He came in last night. But he was here Friday night at the pub. He closed the place. Then he went home with Sean O'Rourke. Didn't you know? Of course I knew, I said. They're old friends. James, I lied right in front of the church.
It was so late, Mother, I didn't want to wake you.
Oh, spare me. The fact is, you lied. Now you're lying and drinking. and hanging out with the O'Rourkes. The O'Rourkes! He used to beat you to a bloody pulp each week. And he's Irish. What are you thinking, man?
I'm sorry I lied, Mother.
Sorry? Sorry, that is a good word for you. You lie, and I look the fool. I have to live in this town.
So come to London with me.
I couldn't stand it, living with that wife of yours. That one is as cold as ice. Try to see, son, I don't need a London life. Look, I need to go visit your brother, or go to the pub. I know it's early, but I'm sure they'd open up for you. Or go visit your friends, the Irish. Dinner's at 5. Come home whenever you like.
Mother,
Just go. Don't make me a scene out here in the yard.
I'll be home around 5.
James, did you tell them anything about me?
No, nothing.
You promise? You swear?
Of course I do.
A lot that means. You'll break my heart.
It seems to me, Mother, I already have.
Mucker! How's the visit? Having a good time yet?
My stay has been quite pleasant. But thank you for the other night. I enjoyed the company. Your wife is perfectly charming.
She's a corker, that one, isn't she? What a darling I got.
Yes.
She liked you. A lot. It's a good thing you'll be going back to London. You might give me some competition.
I've never met a more perfect.
Listen, what are you doing today?
I don't have to be home till 5.
Banished for drinking, eh?
No, banished for not arriving the night I arrived. But yes, banished indeed.
She's a tough old bird, your mother.
Yes, she is. And I'm at my wit's end as to what to do until dinner time.
Then go visit my foe. You'd be doing me a favor. I have a meeting. Strictly business, you understand? With a cellar. Beer, ale, and the like. It could go on for hours. And I know that would love to see you. Keep her some company for me, will ya?
Shouldn't I send her a card first to tell her to expect me?
Mucker, this ain't London.
James, what a pleasure to see you again. Please, come in.
If it isn't a good time,
Don't be silly. Can I make you some tea or something to eat?
tea would be fine if it's not too much trouble.
No trouble at all. The water's on the boil. Please, sit down. No, not that chair. It needs mending. Sean keeps promising to fix it, but here, try this one. How's the story coming?
It's coming.
What? These walls hold the noise.
I said it's coming. Much faster than I would have thought possible.
Oh, tell. Sorry, James, but I can't get your story out of my head. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Not at all. I love hearing your reactions and I value your opinion very much.
Well, the children are all playing and Sean's at the pub, so we have some time.
Tell me about your children first. I know you have 5.
Yes, a boy, a girl, and a boy. I love watching them grow and how they think they're the only ones in the world who are making life's discoveries, life secrets.
And which is your favorite?
I don't believe I have a favorite. I love them all equally. Why? Does your mother have a favorite? And it's not you? Dear James, mothers show their love in different ways. They must. Different children require different kinds of love. I never speak of this, but I lost 2 children in childbirth.
You did? And you're not bitter?
Oh, I was. I blamed everyone. The doctors, the midwife, Sean. God, it was a misery. But I have a family to look after. And yes, every once in a while, I think of my 2 lost darlings, and it saddens me. Especially when I'm all by myself. That's why I want another baby.
I don't understand.
Well, my youngest is in school now, so I spend the day clattering around this house. The new baby would make me feel not so alone, and it might even help my marriage.
What do you mean? Sean loves you very much.
Oh, James, don't you think I know about his women? Ever since he's reached a certain age, he's had to prove to himself that he could do everything he could when he was 17 years old. And I just have to wait it out until he comes back to me.
Yeah. If he doesn't?
He has to. We have memories together, history, children. Those are strong ties. He'd never break them. And if he ever does, he's a bigger fool than I think he is.
You're a remarkable woman, Marina Rourke.
And you're a remarkable man. Now tell me about Peter. Do you want more tea?
Perhaps something a little stronger.
This early in the day? Oh, why not? Start while I get the glasses.
The old crow was getting quite worried over Peter's fondness for adventure,
That's so true. It's what we parents do. Worry over our children.
and there was plenty to worry over. Secretly, Peter had begun to create a sort of boat out of his nest. He even added a crooked mast and a tattered sail, which was the old blanket from his baby period. And every time he got an idea, he crowed, which irritated the general populace immensely.
I thought you said he was doing it in secret.
He had no idea how sound traveled. He pulled the tiny skiff to shore's edge and pushed it into the briny deep. It floated.
I name you the Jolly Pan. Neverland ahoy!
He's really going then? To Neverland?
He turned the boat to the wind, and lo! The breeze filled the woe-begun sail, and the tiny skiff was on its way. Soon it was past the great waves and on to Neverland.
That boy, that silly, silly boy.
He lay in his nest, Neverland looming bigger and bigger. Then suddenly, something peculiar caught his attention in the corner of his nest boat. His panpipes were glimmering.
A stowaway fairy.
Put me down, you big stupid boy! Put me down this minute!
Which one are you?
They call me Tinkerbell. Now put me down! I'm warning
A
you.
word about Tinkerbell. She's the most nasty, spiteful, jealous, mean-spirited fairy in the whole fairy world. She doesn't mean to be, she just can't help it.
She sounds like a fright, Jane.
Shh! Don't let her hear you say that.
And do they become friends?
You'll see.
What are you doing here? How did you get aboard my ship?
You don't think I want to be here, do you? Now put me down! Ouch! That really hurt, Clumsy! You've bent my wing! I can't fly. I'll never get off this boat.
What are you doing on my ship?
Ship indeed! I named you Jolly Pan! That's a laugh.
Well, no one asked you here.
Oh, yes, they did.
Who?
The old crow, of course. Who else? I certainly didn't ask for this joyride.
The old crow. How did he know? This was supposed to be a secret.
How did he know? We all knew. How could we not with you running all over the place, crowing every 5 minutes, and annoying the immediate world? Oh my goodness, I don't know. How do you think he knew?
So he sent you to spy on me.
No, he sent me to look after you. Then report back to him.
That's spying!
That's caring. Listen, you. That old bird holds you in a very high regard. Why? I have no idea. You're selfish, you're a promise breaker, and you're not a very nice person.
Well, I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
Well, I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
Spy.
Promise breaker.
Well, you're worse.
No, you are.
Am not.
Are two.
Not.
Two.
Not.
Oh,
Two.
James, I've heard the same arguments between my children, and I have to go into the other room and giggle. Do you have any?
No. I'd like to, though. I believe the old crow and I have a great deal in common. I do have a dog, though. An enormous St. Bernard named Porthos. On his hind legs, he's a head taller than I am.
A head taller?
Only when we dance together?
I see. You and your dog dance together?
Only in Kensington Gardens Park. It's quite frustrating, though.
How so?
He never lets me leave!
That must cause quite a scene.
Oh, it does. In fact, that's how I met the Llewellyn Davy boys.
The who?
One day, while I was dancing with Porthos in the park, I met 5 brothers. Quite young. Their parents went out poorly off or having a rough go of it. Their father is ill and the doctor say it's terminal. His wife's life, Sylvia, is a misery. To help ease the unspoken disease of the boys, we go on daring-do adventures. We're lost castaways on an island with the most perfectly dreadful pirates. We have burning times! I believe it's the closest I shall ever become to being someone's parent. They call me Uncle Jim.
Well, Uncle Jim, I'm sure you still have a very nice boy and a father.
You big rat.
I thought we weren't going to talk to each other anymore.
I'm not. As far as I'm concerned, I'm talking to the air. A huge pocket of very hot air.
Well, you're very common.
Now, above all else, Tinkerbell hated to be called common.
Yes, she would, bless her.
And you're a codfish, and I hate you.
Does it hurt?
What? What?
Your wing.
Of course it hurts.
Does this hurt?
Does this hurt?
Oh,
What about that? What about that?
Yes,
Yeah,
it hurts.
it hurts?
It hurts.
Good.
Stop
Does
it,
that hurt?
please.
Does that hurt?
Stop it.
What about that?
There.
What about
I
that?
fixed your breathing
You don't
with
care.
mine
What
now.
are you, some kind of idiot boy? What? Oh my, I can fly. Thank you.
What?
I said, thank you.
I can hear you.
Thank you, all right.
You're welcome. Could you let go of my face now?
What? Oh, you're better than a doctor.
Well, you can fly home now.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Yes, I can. Wait, what? Fly back? No, I don't think so.
But you can fly now.
Yes, I can, and you did it. What a surprise. You have wonderful fingers. Now let's go back to the island and tell the old crow. You know, his back's really been bothering
No,
you.
I don't think so. You can return though. Why don't you?
I can't.
Yes, you can.
No, I really can't.
Why not?
Because as charming as your company is, I have been instructed to look after you. It is my assignment, although I look at it more than sure.
You're going to look after me? Who's going to look after you?
Look, friend, I'm trying to be nice here. Don't push me.
So you're going to follow me
Yes,
forever?
as long as it takes.
As long as what takes?
For you to come to your senses, to come home. Everyone is upset that you're gone. People miss you.
Even you?
Well, I can hardly miss you because I happen to have the dubious honor to be here with you. And I know I couldn't be happier.
Even you?
Look, I know I come off a little strong sometimes, but you have to understand, it is no picnic being a fairy. I mean,
Even you?
Ugh, I suppose so. Yes, I would miss you too. All right?
Then let's go back.
Really?
Well, if everyone wants me so much, and everyone needs me so much, then who am I to say no? It's my duty to protect those far less fortunate than me.
Tinkerbell was about to haul off and call him a silly ass and give him a good piece of her mind, when suddenly the tiny skiff came to a very abrupt stop.
What was that?
The tiny skiff was on dry land, parked on a vast sandy beach, triple the size of the island's tiny shore. It was magnificent.
We're here.
In Neverland?
Well, we certainly aren't home. We headed in the right direction. This must be Neverland. Just smell the air, Tinkerbell. Look around you. Isn't it all so
Don't
beautiful?
you dare take another step, my friend!
Why not?
You play innocent with me, mister. Your crow told you that the moment you step foot on this cursed place, you would never grow up. Lord, help us!
So?
Why don't you take the night to think about it?
Well, I'm feeling a little sleepy. It must be the air. Tinkerbell, we'll stay on board ship tonight. You keep watch. And tomorrow, before we head home, we'll go exploring the island's wonders. And then...
Aye, Captain Sir, we will go exploring, not by foot. He's a jolly man.
She giggled sweetly. Her eyes rested upon the boy, snuggled against the side of his ship, with his panpipes clutched in his hands. She nuzzled up to his smallest gesture, the way his hair fell aimlessly on his sleepy head, the way his eyelashes fluttered every few seconds, and the way he breathed, so strong and even. And she realized, much to her chagrin, that she was plainly in love with him.
Aye, sir. I'll keep the watch. Been to see your brother?
No,
Then off to the pub again, I suppose.
no.
You're telling me you haven't been with your friends the Irish. Come here, let me smell your breath.
No.
I thought as much. Drink. Drink will be your ruin. You better start saving, because it's not going to last you forever. From the way you drink, to the way that wife of yours spends your money like it's water. Don't know where you learned it. Probably from London. Not from me. Lying and drinking and wasting your money and consorting with trash.
I wasn't at the pub and your works are not trash.
Then where were you then? Answer me that.
No.
No. You come up here, you stay a few days, and I don't even see you.
Why would you want to?
Don't start your whining with me. I've heard enough of it already. Why don't you just say it? I've been a bad mother.
No.
Say it. I never clothed you. I never fed you. I never scrimped or saved for you.
You never loved me.
Love. Love. You carry on with that like it's the most important thing in the world. Love. To me, it has no meaning. I can't afford it.
You love Davy?
He was a special child. You didn't have to work to love him.
And with me, you do, and you blame me for his death.
All right. You want to know what this is all about, James? The truth is, you haven't forgiven yourself, and you probably never will. You were 6 years old for the love of God, and all this time, you've been carrying the weight of your brother's death on your shoulders like Samson did the lion. And as long as you hate yourself, you're content. But son, you don't let it stop there. Misery needs company, and you make sure everyone has their fair share of it. All right, I know. At Davy's funeral, I might have said some things I shouldn't have.
You said the wrong son died, and I believed you!
I was broken. I was wounded. I was grieving.
You said things to me that I can't forget, and I'm supposed to believe all that you're saying now?
Believe what you want. I'm too old and too tired to keep having
Listen,
this
mother!
conversation.
When Davy died, you that tried the explosive factory! You never gave me a second thought! And for you to say that you forgave me is absurd! You can't let him go, not even while you're asleep!
What? What's that supposed to mean?
Doesn't matter. Look, the point is Davy is dead. He is gone. There's no one else but me.
You'll get the property when I'm gone, if that's what you're after. You can drink on that.
That's not what I want. I don't drink.
What do you want?
I want you to bury Davy. Really bury him in your heart. And don't say you only mourn when I'm around. It doesn't wash. If I am wrong for my feelings of guilt, then your constant grieving is equally wrong. I want us both to stop this everlasting torment and accept that he is gone. It's been 37 years, and still his shadow hangs on this just as it did the very day he died. But you revel in it. It is your identity, and you take it out on everyone. No, not everyone, me. I tried to be all you wanted. I worked. I slaved, and all I read for was a word. Just one word of encouragement from you. That was all I ever needed. That was all I ever wanted. I'm in a loveless marriage because I didn't think love existed. And the funny thing is, she's just like you. Cold and bitter and filled with disappointment, envy, and rage.
And that's my fault.
Yes!
I never liked your wife. That's certain. But she is not the only one to blame. You talk of your loveless marriage, but what did you do? Look to yourself, laddie. I'm not saying she wasn't a cold, conniving ingrate at the start, but you fed her faults. You reared her to become what she is.
Mother, don't you see that every single one of my wounds all stem from a single person?
Do you want something to eat? James? James? What are you laughing at? James, are you gone down? Are you coming back?
Oh, stop, I promise.
James! If you don't stop, I'm calling the doctor. You're losing your breath. James!
I'll stop, I promise. Look, don't you go to bed. I have work to do.
If you promise me you're all right, you gave me such a fright. What made you laugh like that?
Mother, if I tell you, I'll just start up again.
I don't. I don't want you having another fit just like when you were young. Don't stay up too late. And turn down the lights. We don't support the oil company, you know.
The morning sun inched its way up the sandy beach, awaking Peter and Tinkerbell, who had long stopped keeping watch. And The dew soared over the island, seeing all that it had, from the emerald green jungles to the verdant hills, to the golden sandy beaches where its water is azure and glistens in the morning sun. I can't!
Baby, come and get your mother. Thank you, James.
Peter and Tinkerbell are flying over the
what
island
is it?
right
Are you
now.
quite alright?
And it is everything you can imagine, and that's the most important aspect
Please
about
say it to
Neverland.
me.
It's everything you want it to be, and it's different for everyone. It's gorgeous. The mermaids, they're about to meet the mermaids, and Peter had promised Tink that he would. He refuses to call her Tinkerbell. He promised her he wouldn't set foot on the ground.
Do you think he'll keep that promise?
I think he intends to try. At any rate, they're flying above Mermaid Lagoon, a lovely cove, where the mermaids love to sun themselves and shed their silvery scales as they wait to take their next victim to a watery grave.
Hello, you mermaids!
Immediately, the mermaids disappeared under the water.
What happened?
You frightened them, big ox. Can't you be more polite?
I'll try. We have to make friends with them. They like to drown people, you know.
Charming.
James, may I be a mermaid?
If you want to,
I do. What's my name?
there's Merlinda and Miranda. Take your pick.
Merlinda, please.
By all means.
Okay, I'll start. Oh my! What is that? What? What are you laughing at? Am I doing it wrong?
No, you're perfect.
James, you do.
No, you're perfectly charming. You're excellent. I'll stop laughing, please. Continue.
What is that?
A pirate?
Don't be silly. Pirates can't fly.
Then it must be an Indian.
Not at all. Why? It's a flying boy.
Marvelous.
Who are you?
I'm Peter Pan, and this is Tinkerbell. She's a fairy.
Hello,
Peter
Pan. And a hello to you too, Tinkerbell.
Are you new on the island?
I'm not on the island yet. Tink's looking out for me.
Who's going to look after her?
That's what I said.
Why don't you come in for a swim, Peter? It's positively delicious.
I better not. Besides, Tink can't swim.
All the more reason. Let's go. There's more to see.
Wait, we're making friends. Aren't we, girls?
The mermaid, they answered Peter's question by splashing him with water. Peter splashed them back with his feet. Suddenly, a pair of wet mermaid hands grabbed onto one of Peter's legs and forced him into the water. Now, there are several hands pulling him down. Yes.
James?
It's correct.
James, what's the matter?
Yes.
James, you said the word ice. What
Yes.
ice are you talking about?
Yes.
James!
It's cracking.
James,
Yes.
what ice? What ice were you talking about?
Ice.
Yes, James, what ice? Tell me, what ice?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
You're
sorry.
alright. Really, you are. You're safe. Just tell me. Tell me, James, what's troubling you?
No.
Calm down, James, please.
No. Just let me get through this. I'll be fine after that.
No, James, that's enough story tonight.
Please. It was nothing. I swear to you.
Oh, James.
I swear to you. I must get through this.
You sure?
Quite sure. Just tell me where we left off.
Peter is drowning.
Quite right. Peter is drowning.
Tinkerbell! Can Tinkerbell help?
Tinkerbell, but whatever could she do? She's only 8 inches high and she can't even swim. Let me see. Let me see. Peter had been down in the water for quite some time when suddenly Peter came soaring out of the lagoon and found a rejoicing Tinkerbell.
How did he escape?
I was too slippery for them.
It was that simple. His legs are wet and bare.
You saved him, James. You saved Peter. Are you feeling any better?
I like him already. He's extraordinary.
Come live with us, Peter Pan. Leave Tink behind. We'll have great times together.
I'd love to, but I'm afraid I might drown in your affection. What was that?
It's the Jolly Roger. The pirates must be near.
Pirates! We have to leave.
Goodbye, Peter Pan.
What nice girls. Thank you. What nice.
I hate them, and I loathe and despise you.
Well, you could have been a little nicer to them.
They didn't even have the decency to. Why don't you go back there and soak your head, Pete? Don't follow me here.
Tink, wait. Tink, where are you going? Tink, come back.
Poor thing. I have flown away too.
You would?
Of course. She has her pride games.
He looked everywhere for her. After some hours, he finally found her.
Where?
In the center of a pond, lying on a rock. She was angry, jealous, and awfully upset. Crying her eyes out. 2 eyes emerged from the water, followed by a huge green head, accompanied by an enormous mouth with ugly, jagged teeth. It was a crocodile. He saw the tasty morsel, and his eyes got bigger, and his mouth widened. Tinkerbell was so lost in her tears, she failed to notice the shadows of the croc's open jaws, looming large on the rock.
Tink, look out!
He ate her?
He ate her.
Oh, James, you mustn't. Can Peter save her? Please don't let her die.
Wait. Faster than the speed of light, Peter came swooping down upon the crocodile's back. The creature put up an enormous fuss, but Peter started tickling the crocodile's side so hard he could not stop to laugh. But he was having such a good time, he could contain the little fairy no longer. Tinkerbell set herself free. The croc licked the boy's face like a puppy. Tinkerbell was relieved until she saw Peter was standing on the rock.
He touched ground.
He touched ground.
Peter!
Tink, are you alright?
You touched land. You saved my life and gave up your own.
I couldn't let him eat you. You're my friend.
But if I wasn't so jealous, I am. I'm your friend. You're such a good boy.
Well, you're a good fairy. With a rotten disposition. So this is it, I guess. This is my home now.
Pondering the situation, Peter heard, almost as if from heaven, a familiar, well-loved voice.
Boy, what have you done?
Who is it, James? Who does he hear?
I couldn't let her die.
It might have been an awfully big adventure.
For me, not for her. For me. You said that yourself, that I'm...
Extraordinary.
Who is he talking to?
Who are you talking to?
The old crow. Can't you hear him?
Of course I do. Hello, old crow. I'll just be over here till you're done. I don't think it's polite to listen in on other people's conversations.
Boy, I commend your judgment in saving Miss Bell. I shall miss you.
But I can always visit you.
No, you can't.
Then you can visit me.
Peter, I can't.
What do you mean? That's the first time you've called me Peter.
And the last.
But why?
Don't whine. Because I exist no longer.
James, no!
What do you mean?
Just what I said.
You mean you're...
I forbid you to cry. I've been allowed to come here one last time to tell you one last important thing. Are you listening?
Yes.
Know that I am with you, though you may not hear from me again. Know that you will always be a part of me, just as I will always be a part of you. Live, Peter Pan. Life. That's the adventure. Remember.
I can barely hear you.
Remember me.
Your voice is getting dim.
Goodbye, my son.
Wait! I love you! Wait, I have to know. Is it an awfully big adventure? Is it? Is it? Goodbye, old crow. I'll remember. Always and always. It really isn't so bad here, though.
I did this to you.
No, you didn't. Honestly, Tink, I would have made this decision anyway.
Really? You're not just saying that. That's it. I'm not leaving.
But
You saved my life. You care about me. I'm not leaving.
But you're
He's
home.
with you. Let's build a little house with an ocean view. Waterfront property is very exclusive, you know. Location. And
Hey,
then we
stop! You never even asked if I wanted you with me.
Oh, I'm being pushy again, aren't I? You mean you don't want me?
Well, I don't know. You're going to have to change your ways a little bit.
Anything, you name it.
Well, to begin, whenever you think I'm doing something wrong, you're going to have to tell
I
me
do that now.
nicely. And you can't get jealous every time when someone doesn't take you right away. Can you live with that? Well, if you're happy, then I'm happy.
And now I must be off.
What? So soon?
Yes, a bit. I suppose Peter's happiness has shaken me.
James, I don't understand this. Stop lying to me. Is this about your mother?
I'm going, I think, to London tomorrow.
Oh, I didn't think it would be so soon.
Something's come up and I must...
Yes, of course. I shall miss you, James. Will I see you before you leave at least?
Yes. I don't want to go back home. And I don't want to go to London, and I don't want to leave you. Mother said, thank you, James. Thank you. And she always known it was me. That I was her Davy. Ah, Davy, is that you? Thank you, James. Thank you. Marie, but how could you? They're warm. They're for Mother. He's sick. Sign. Your mother. Davy, of all things, Mother loves this picture.
Mucker! Where are you going?
I have pressing business in London.
Pressing business, huh? Well, you just got here.
Yes. Thank you for everything.
And Mo's too?
Yes, her kindness was truly appreciated. You're a lucky man. She's a rare woman.
Yes, I am.
Perhaps the both of you will come and visit me in London sometime.
Perhaps. You're a good lad, Jamie. Mo will miss you. Hell, I'll miss you too. Have you come to say goodbye to her?
I thought I might. That is, if you don't mind.
Why should I mind? I'd best be off to the pub. Mo, my love, you got company. Jamie, it's good to see you.
James, are you alright? I was so worried the way you left last night.
I'm sorry to have worried you.
Will we talk about it?
I'd rather not, and some of it you know anyway, I think.
Your mother?
And someone else.
So, have you finished the story yet?
No. I wanted to do that with you.
Do you have time before your train?
I believe I do. Peter and Tinkerbell were soaring over the island when they spied Captain Roger's pirate frigate sailing into port after a long day's looting.
Yo-ho! 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 I'm not gonna do that. Oh, a pirate is a marvelous thing to be, and a pirate is as wonderful as me. You'll remember my little song that is if you last that long, as I go sailing merrily, merrily o'er the sea. Oh, a pirate's life's a lovely one to live, and the more loot I can find, the more you'll get. I'll be stuffing it in my bank as I watch you walk the plank, as I go sailing merrily, merrily o'er the sea. Yo ho, yo ho, yo ho, yo ho, yo ho, yo ho, yo slug on the eyes. Do they deceive me? It's death and artificial. Why, it's a flying boy! Split me infinitives, but I like this knot. I believe I'll run him through with my Johnny Long Arm. Come down here, boy!
Tink, look, it's Captain Roger. Let's go meet him.
Are you out of your mind? No. Do you know that word? No. Use in a sentence? No.
Tink, look, he's inviting us on board.
We're not going.
Just to see.
Can't you stop being a boy for 5 minutes?
No.
Obesity and bunions! Welcome aboard me ship! What be thy name, lad?
Peter Pan, Captain Roger, sir. And this is Tinkerbell. She's a fairy and my best friend.
Odds fish and macaroons! Away with the ladies already. You slide, you. Tell me, Master Pan, how long do you plan to stay in these parts?
Oh, forever.
Isn't that a most pleasant happenstance, though? And yet, I marvel that you didn't have the courtesy to ask.
Ask?
This island's mine. Your mother certainly did not teach you very good manners, did she?
Don't you talk about my mother. You don't know her. You keep your big mouth shut.
1,000 pardons. Locks, zocks, and ticking clocks. No disrespect intended. I simply did not realize thee and she were that close.
Well, we are.
Then what, may I ask, are you doing in Neverland? Oops! I dropped me hanky. Will you?
You don't play fair, Captain.
What do you expect, boy? I'm a pirate. Not playing fair is what I do. Come here, boy. Sit by me. Life can be so very dull when time is unending. Day after the day. The good bounding sameness of it all. Slit a throat here, puncture a lung there. It's all so ordinary. So, let us play a merry game of cat and mouse. Me and thee. I would lose me good right arm to have a worthy adversary.
Maybe you will, Captain. Maybe you will lose that good right arm.
Then, let the games begin!
Be prepared to lose, Captain Roger. Or should I call you Captain Hook?
Captain Hook. Captain Hook. Captain Hook. It doesn't
Help, we're down here! Help us! We're scared!
Tink, what's all that noise?
It's a gang of boys in chains.
Kidnapping too, Captain.
just a small sideline. But I shall allow you to save them. For now, like you, I have time. Pots and pots of it. I can wait. And when I am more than usually bored, yours will be an exquisitely slow death. Until then. Cheery bye!
Tinkerbell ushered in a gang of ragtag, ragamuffin, scruffy boys. That night, at Peter's campsite, they all sat down and drank coconut milk and ate coconut pie.
So who are you?
You call us the Lost Boys.
We were lost when our nannies weren't paying attention to our baby carriers. And then the fairies picked us up and carried us away.
Then that means I'm a lost boy too.
The boys made pigs of themselves at dinner, which soon became a food fight.
Thanks, you know what they need? A mother. And I know just the one.
And off, they flew to London to find the lost boy's mother. Peter and Tinkerbell quickly arrived at Peter's mother's house. Peter opened the window and motioned to Tinkerbell to shush. His mother was sleeping soundly.
Something's wrong. She should be calling out my name.
They tiptoed to her bedside. Tink's natural glow lit up a bundle in Peter's mother's arm.
Tink, move down here.
Tink lit up the bundle. Peter unwrapped it. A baby.
Oh, that boy will never understand this. James, what are you doing?
She betrayed me. I've been betrayed by my own mother.
Are you going to cry?
No, I don't cry. Never have, never will.
Because if you want to, it's okay.
Will you stop it? I don't need your help.
What did you want her to do? Wait around her whole life for you when, for all she knew, you were probably dead.
Do I look like I'm dead?
Do you look like you're here with her in London?
Oh, Tink, I couldn't. I hate it here. That's why I wanted her. Just leave me alone. I have to figure this out. Don't follow me.
I'll just.
I'm her son, not that thing in her arms. I need her. How could she do this to me? I hate her.
Hurry, boys. Time for bed.
The voice, that of Wendy Angela Moira Darling, could be heard from across the alley. Peter flew across and listened.
Before we sleep, Wendy, finish your story.
Tomorrow. Did you say your prayers?
Yes.
Then let's play a game. Whoever falls asleep the fastest wins.
I bet I can.
Cannot, I can.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Sleep.
I'm sleeping, I win.
If you were sleeping, you wouldn't be talking.
With you.
How?
I talk in my sleep.
What a wonderful girl. She will be our mother.
Peter stepped into the house when suddenly Nana, the family St. Bernard, attacked him. She grabbed on to his shadow and pulled it from off of him.
Nana, stop it. There's no one there. What have you got in your mouth? Give it here, Nana. You'll ruin it. Why? It's a shadow. This looks like it could belong to Peter Pan. Peter Pan, he must be nearby. I'll just fold it up and put it in the drawer. That way when he needs it, it'll be all fresh and ready. Perhaps tomorrow I'll wash and iron it. I wonder if he likes the shadow starch.
She's got my shadow. Whatever shall I do? I'm no good without my shadow.
Oh, James, it's lovely. Your brother would have loved it.
You know?
From the very start.
I wish you could have known him.
I believe I do.
Dear Maureen, do you think... I don't know how to say this. I'm at a loss. I'm a writer and I'm at a loss for words.
James, you can ask me anything. You know that.
All right. Do you think you ever might
Will you
consider...
write to me sometimes?
Try and stop me. I'm sorry, I must try this again. Maureen, have you ever thought about moving to London?
Since that first kiss of little Alice.
And?
And James, I can't.
I see. It's about your religion.
No, it's not about the church, nor my marriage, nor my children, although any one of them would be reason enough. You see, I've never felt special in any way.
But you are.
No, I'm not. Thank you for saying that, James, but I'm not. I'm a simple woman who needs to be of use. You don't need me. Funny. I thought Sean was a strong one, but I was wrong. You are. I don't know how that great oaf of mine could remember to breathe in and out if not for me. Mine is a little life, a useful life. I don't want to lose you, but you must understand.
You'll never lose me. I'll write you, I promise.
Please. And then you see, when I'm feeling low, as we all do from time to time, I think, I might take your pages out of my top bureau drawer, and I shall unfold them carefully, as Wendy might do with Peter's shadow. And I shall read them, and be comforted that above all others who breathe upon the earth, you know me.
Might I at least expect to see you for spring cleaning?
I'm not your mother. Why don't you come and help me?
I will.
Goodbye, James. Until spring then.
I'll see you in April. Depend on it. I never will see you again, will I?
James, I'll be here at home, waiting for your footfalls on my rickety old porch steps, should they come. James, come to me. Know this. You are not a lost boy.
Perhaps I'm not.
I love it. It's so new. I've never seen anything like it. Marvelous.
James!
Mary!
Don't you have a compliment for your wife?
Have you no compliment for your husband?
Dearest, it's a triumph.
You liked it then?
Liked it. I loved it. You really never did grow up, did you? And finally, in Wendy, what an odd name. Did you make it up?
I suppose so.
Well, in Wendy, you found the mother you've always longed for.
Pardon me?
Well, Peter, he's you, isn't he?
Well, no, you see. Mary, there are two things in this world you will never understand. Everything and anything.
Well, James, who would know better than your wife? Now,
After the reception, we must discuss me playing Peter. Oh, I'd be a revelation! And I do look so much better in tights than that dear little actress, Nina Bucci, whatever her name is. I mean, really, James, those hips were made for birthing, not for playing a small boy. Now let's go to the reception.
Why don't you go ahead and tell them I'll be along?
But
I'll be along.
But James,
In time.
I'll play dutiful wife as I always do. Tonight's your night, dearest. Whatever you say is law. And we'll discuss Peter later. Yes. There's Gerald du Maurier. Perhaps if I compliment his Captain Hook enough, I can seize his arm to escort me. Gerald.
Mary Ansel. Jimmy. An excellent effort, don't you know? Peter Pan will last for, well, as long as there are children. And there wasn't even one of the ghastly little beasts at tonight's opening, don't you know? Imagine that. So, what happens next?
Well, I've received a cable from Froman saying that if tonight's play does well, then he'll produce it in America. With Maud Adams. I actually wrote it for her.
But James.
Maud Adams, I say. And who will take Hook upon himself?
Well, Gerald, that's up in the air. Any ideas?
Well, Jimmy, if it were up to me, well, I have always loved America. All those splendid little provincials going out. Splendid little
You may
provincials.
not know it yet, but I will play Peter Pan.
My dear Mary, let's not talk about your husband right now. Let's talk about me. Jimmy, I have it. I should play
Mother?
Captain Hook.
James.
You came. You saw the play. And? Have you no thoughts?
I wouldn't know what to tell you. I've never even seen a show before. The people liked it. When everybody stood up at the end, I thought they were all leaving, but they kept clapping. So, this is what you do. Your work.
Yes.
I wondered. I hate your London. It stinks. Even in winter. I must go now.
Goodbye, Mother.
For the love of God, Nina, will you at least hold me?
Of course.
Thank you. You brought him back to me. James, you brought my Davy back to me for a few hours. You brought him back.
I brought him back to us.
Aye, you're right. You're right. To us. Perhaps sometime, if you find the time that is, you'll come back to Kirmere to visit. I'll even cook. And perhaps you'll bring some of your books with you. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be, and I don't know how far I'd get through them with all your big words and all, but I think I'd just like to hold them.
I'll send them to you straight away.
Don't go to any trouble on my account.
But you're my mother.
Yes, I am. Goodbye, son. James, about your books.
Yes?
Am I in any of them?
Son.
Don't send those.
Well, Davy, I do believe you're immortal. Rest well. And now, so will I. And on this magical night, I may be wrong, but I do believe I hear, though it is only vaguely discernible, that voice I knew so well from long, long ago, when I was very young.
Look, Jamie, I can fly!
As can I.